Well, welcome. Today we have as our guest Debbie Horovitch, and Debbie Horovitch is a thought leader in the area of Hangouts on Air, as well as a producer. She's got a background in advertising and social media prior to her diving into becoming an expert on Hangouts on Air. So, Debbie, would you like to expand on that introduction at all?
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Michael. I'm excited to be here to finally start to get some of the ideas and the thinking and the experiences that I've had in the last year plus, out of my head and really giving some value to small businesses, which is where a lot of the help I think with Google Plus can go. So I'm excited to be here.
Great. What have you found are the benefits of doing Hangouts on Air?
Okay, so, the biggest benefit overall of doing Hangouts on Air is that it gives you a lot of exposure for your business. And right from the time when I first got into self-employment and started my own business, I was lucky enough to be in a government program where I was in some small business training to help me get my business set up in 2009. And consistently what I was hearing from other classmates and other people who were in this government program with me was that their big fear about starting a business, about launching a new business, was not about their own ability to produce whatever it was that they were going to be offering within their business. What their fear was around getting word out there and really creating awareness for themselves, creating awareness for their business. And the majority of people who, oftentimes myself included, when I started my business in 2009, it was after more than a year of job hunting. I had been laid off from 2 ad agency jobs in a period of just over a year, and it was right at the time when the economy, just after the United States economy had started to tumble, and the Canadian economy just fell along with it about 6 months afterwards. And there were actually literally no ad agencies hiring at the time. So the only thing I could do was start a business and offer my services back to the people who used to be my employers. So I kind of started my business by accident. I wanted the government help, but the biggest thing that I knew was I would need to get awareness for my business. Right off the bat, you want to be able to, when you're offering some sort of service or some sort of product for sale in your business, you need to have people who you can talk to about what it is that you have to offer who might be in a situation where they need that product or service right away. So you need an audience, you need awareness, you need to get the word out there about yourself and your business. And that's really the biggest benefit of Google Plus Hangouts on Air. It is a communications tool that fits right alongside in importance to your business, importance to how you're spending money on Google. If you want to be Google search engine optimized, so that you get free traffic to your website, so that you get free potential customers, people who are searching on Google for your exact solution, Google Plus Hangouts on Air allows you to log on to Google Plus for free and use your Google Plus and your YouTube channel to create video chat content. And if you're smart about the content that you create, you can use that to literally do webinars and to do commercials and to bring social proof in to your audience. So there's a ton of benefits, but I think the main one is that really it helps you create more leads and more business for your business. It's like an advertising channel that you own when you create a Hangouts on Air show. It gives you that medium where you're building an audience of your own, and it lets you build your list. I think that's a key thing for any new business owner, is that you want to have set up a funnel so that you are driving traffic into your offer and that you're getting those immediate sales from the people who say, yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Because no matter what it is that you're offering, and the majority of people in business, you know, we're all learning how to do what we do. We're all getting better at what we do. Even Hangouts, I'm definitely learning Hangouts. Michael's learning Hangouts. We're all learning Hangouts. So it's one of those things where it really helps you grow your authority within the marketplace when you're creating awareness, creating a stage or a platform for other people to have valuable conversations and to document it.
So I know that you've met a number of people who aren't getting those benefits. What is it that they're missing that you've discovered to get those benefits?
Well, it's the benefits that you can get from doing a Google Plus Hangout on air can be anything that you want it to be. If it's more leads, if it's better Google SEO, if it is more sales, if it's more just your own authority and integrity and reputation development, whatever it is that you're intending to create as the result, you can create a show and a program, a format around that. So what I find for myself, the format of Hangouts on Air that I've discovered works really, really well for me, that attracts, almost like magnetizes your content to attract influencers, people who are influential to your segment, your target audience. For that particular funnel, you've got one solution that you're offering to one segment of your target audience, and there are people within that community who you would consider, or who your audience would consider to be a celebrity, who they would be influenced by their opinion. So if you can create a conversation where you're giving value to your audience, and you're connecting them to a celebrity, connecting them to an influencer, and giving them access to sort of the behind the scenes of your business, but it's not even really the behind the scenes of your business, it's the, I'm a business owner, and part of the amazingness of being a business owner is that I get to run a TV show for myself, a Google Plus Hangouts on Air, and a part of that is that I get to introduce my audience and selected customers to my business, selected people within my community. I get to introduce them to the special bonuses and benefits that I get of being a business owner, which includes being introduced to and hanging out, literally hanging out with celebrities and people that the audience thinks, oh my goodness, I would so love to sit down and have a conversation with that person. So for me, because not every hangout needs to be a celebrity hangout on air. Not every hangout that you do within your business needs to be a big production, needs to be planned. They don't even need to have audience. There's a ton of hangouts that happen just as meetings. But where I find a ton of value is when you're bringing those celebrity influencers in. And if you're not getting value out of your celebrity hangouts on air, there's a couple of things that you're probably not planning early enough, just certain areas that can really help simplify that. And so, you know, that it's a great thing to point out that what I've developed within Celebrity Hangouts on Air is a system that makes it so that you can get celebrities onto your Hangout. I think we all know people who are influencers, or if you're a business owner and you're out there networking and you're out there hustling, you are taking the stage, and you sort of develop a business persona, or a celebrity or a spokesperson type of persona for your business, which is a form of celebrity or influence. And that's something that's really valuable to be able to share. in the planning process of Celebrity Hangouts on Air, two things that we focus on is on developing a really large audience for your content. And the way that you do that is by developing a network of blogs and websites that have agreed to broadcast your Celebrity Hangout on Air, your show when it goes live. You can broadcast your show live and record it while being live broadcast to millions of existing people on other people's audiences, on other people's blog websites. Because the key about Hangouts on Air is that it's a YouTube video. It's a YouTube live broadcast. So it gives you the opportunity to have that embed code. If you've been struggling to find blog content for your own website, for your own small business website, there may very well be a Google Hangout on Air show that is about to start being produced by someone in your category that your audience would love to watch every week on your website. And if you bring a Hangout on Air to your own website that someone else is producing, then really they're doing all the work to produce a show, but you get to offer really awesome, relevant content to your audience. And that content is only airing in a few places. It's airing on your website and on YouTube and wherever else it's planned for. So I think really it comes down to the planning of the Hangout, like the taking a step back from the computer and thinking about, I really need to communicate clearly to my celebrity guest, to the key guests within my audience that are going to be on the Hangout. I need to communicate really clearly and simply what they need to do, what time and place where they need to be in order to join the Hangout on Air. And it becomes really obvious when a small business owner is really unprepared for the size of the Hangout that they've grown. As I've said, it's not that difficult to get a celebrity onto your Hangout on Air because it's a really powerful type of medium, and if you're approaching the right person, they want to be on your show, they want publicity, and so they're likely to say, yes, I'd love to be on your show. But if you're unprepared, and if a really influential person within your business experiences you not using the tool or the technology properly, not being able to connect them to the audience, and the audience generally, when I get celebrities onto my Hangouts, what I find is that my audience starts to get almost like they must get on my Hangout, and they really want me to assure them that they're going to be on the Hangout with the celebrity because it's really, really important to them. And it's important to me that they get a satisfactory experience and that the celebrity, that the influencer sees how smooth of an experience I'm making for them to connect to their audience. Because if they see me being overwhelmed by the technology of Google Hangouts on Air, not only are you likely to, not only you're documenting on video and live broadcasting yourself not being able to use the technology that you are purportedly an expert in, so you're video documenting yourself being a little bit of a fool or unprepared, and it gives the celebrity, the influencer, someone who might in the future lean into your business with opportunities, it gives them a viewpoint of you that is disappointing. Rather than you blowing them away with, you make them a promise and then wildly over-deliver and making it an amazing experience for them where they will want to come back, you'll probably never be able to get them back on your show again. And then the audience themselves, they're going to look at your Hangout and see, yeah, they had this great celebrity on the show, but I couldn't even talk to them, and I felt really disappointed because I took time out of my day to schedule and to give my name and to watch the video and to participate in the conversation, but then I didn't actually get the connection with the influencer or with the expert that I was promised. by the host of the Hangout. So there are a lot of things that can go wrong when you're trying to do your Hangouts, and that's really what working with me helps flush out a lot of those problems, because so much of it is just like it is a skill that you learn in doing your Hangouts, and I know, Michael, you can even speak to that yourself.
Absolutely.
Why don't you talk a little bit about your experience with Hangouts on Air, like when you started participating, producing, and like how have you gotten better?
Well, a lot by listening to your advice. You know, one of the things that you taught was be sure you're on at least a half an hour early, and we always have our guests on a half an hour early. And you know, sometimes we end up being able to get all the technical things sorted out within 60 seconds. Other times it's been 29 minutes and 30 seconds before they're sorted out. So yeah, there's definitely a lot to think about. Not that any individual item is difficult, but you can get overwhelmed with just the number of items that you need to concern yourself with. But let's move on to the next question, which I've heard both individually and from you, and that is, so how do I get celebrities to participate in my Hangout? And I think you might want to start that with, really, what is a celebrity in the context of what you're talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. A celebrity within the context of the Celebrity Hangouts on Air program, a celebrity is really someone who you as the business owner that they're influential to you, that they have the opportunity to bring a large audience of qualified new prospects into your business, that they have influence over a large grouping, or maybe it's not so much that they have influence over a large grouping of your segment audience, but that they have huge influence over a really important small segment of your target audience. So a celebrity is someone who, to you and to your business, that they can change everything for your business. If they give your audience, and they give to you the gift of their reputation. When you are seen in any social context, if you post a photo to your Facebook of you at an event with Sir Richard Branson, if you were to meet Sir Richard Branson today at lunch or today at dinner or whatever, after work at some event, and you post that picture to your Facebook, you're going to get a lot of interaction from your audience on Facebook, but also from a lot of people who just go, wait a second, Michael knows Richard Branson? I've really been I've been trying to find someone who knows Richard Branson because I have an idea that I need to pitch to him. And now that I know that Michael can get me access to him, I'm going to be on every single one of Michael's Hangouts because I want to meet Sir Richard Branson. So it works in that way. It's kind of like your celebrity is whoever can be influential. And I'm in Canada, so if you hear in the background the snowblower going, we're in the middle of a big winter snowstorm outside. But I think that you know, it really brings it down to who would you personally be impressed by you interviewing on your show, and that allows you to sort of qualify someone at a level of celebrity, at a level of influence. But then getting those celebrities onto your show, onto your Hangout on Air. One of the approach that I teach, the approach that I like, is to have a list, a sort of a running list of celebrities that you want in the future on your Hangout on Air. And then you're going to create every one of your Hangout on Airs, you're going to plan them in the future schedule. And I absolutely recommend that you write down the exact time and date and time of your Hangouts on air for the next 6 months. Because when I got Guy Kawasaki to come, Guy Kawasaki asked me if he could be on my Hangout on air, which shocked the heck out of me. I'd never had a celebrity or an influencer on my Hangout in the past. He asked me, and I firmly believe 100% the reason why I was able to book him on my show so easily was because he asked me, he saw the video, he said, hey, can I do your show sometime? I was kind of blown away, taken aback. I said, yeah, absolutely. What's my next step? He says, just email so-and-so. So it took me no time at all to access the next 6-month schedule that I had, copy and paste it, and send it over to his assistant. And what I said to him was, here's the next 6 months that I have tentatively booked for when I'll be recording the shows. But if none of these works for you, Guy, I will be more than happy to schedule the recording to work within your schedule. And his response was he booked the very first time that I had available. He didn't rebook, he didn't reschedule. We went ahead exactly as planned. So that's what makes it the easiest, is having your schedule, knowing for yourself you're going to do a show at this date and this time, regardless of who you have booked. And so I like to plan out the future of my shows. I like to plan out the content, and I like to plan out a featured guest into every episode. So I know in my future episodes of the show, I have segments that I go through. Every single show has this segment that we repeat that's kind of like a theme that my audience gets used to seeing me ask every different guest the exact same question.
So, what about, that was a great answer. What about getting sponsors or monetizing your situation?
Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is that Hangouts on air are very similar to wine. You can be very, very passionate about wine and really know nothing about it, or you can be a sommelier and be very, very passionate about wine. And to you, the experience, the benefits are what you want to get out of it. If you don't want to be a sommelier, you can still enjoy wine and know nothing about it. And that's awesome. And Hangouts on air are the same way. But when you're approaching anything in business, any new activity or any new opportunity, especially a marketing activity, the most important thing is to be able to know and be able to measure for the amount of activity, for the amount of effort and resources that we have to put into this new campaign or program or show, however we're going to assign and delegate responsibilities to staff. That means that you have to start paying for the production of your show. If you have a social media community manager that is going to take on the main responsibility for your Hangout, or you are being paid as a full-time social media community manager and you're intending to launch a Hangout on air for your employer or for your client, it's really important that you have an understanding of the financial, of the dollar value that people can place on what you're creating. Your show is an object. You end up with the rights, the ownership rights, once you've created that video, to do anything you want with that content. You can sell it for any price that you want. You can change the price of it. You can cut it up and package it into new products that you can sell for any price that you can change the price of anytime you want. And it's really up to you to understand the monetization opportunities behind the Hangout so that you can say, well, if we're bringing in $10,000 a month, or $10,000 a year, or $10,000 in the lifetime of the program, that gives us a budget to start to deal with how much time we want to put into the show. So revenue and getting sponsors for the show, it starts with you need to have an appeal. So the show needs to have a focus or a theme where you're solving audience problems. And the more specific you can be about who the audience is that you're solving problems for, the easier it will be to identify for you who are the sponsors that are spending money to reach that audience that you're solving problems for, that they're solving problems for. Because what you want to do is offer to your potential sponsors the solution to their problem. You're not only creating a show where the content is solutions to your audience's problems, but the show also acts as a solution to your sponsors' problems. And your sponsors' problems is that they need to get in front of the audience that they have solutions for the problems of the audience.
So a good example of that might have been your book publishers and authors hangout on air, given that the primary audience there were people who wanted to publish books, would have been book publishers.
Absolutely, absolutely. If I had gone after sponsors for Sparkle SOS book authors and publishers, and it's something that I'll be honest with you, for that particular program, I haven't started approaching sponsors for it yet because I'm working on writing a book myself. And so when I started Sparkle SOS Book Authors and Publishers, the intent of the show was not at all, not even when I started, but even as continuing Sparkle SOS Book Authors and Publishers, my intent was not to be charging sponsors. My intent was not to create a media channel for other brands. Now, it is something that I should look at doing for 2014, but I think an even better example would be I created a consumer hangout on air show last fall, in fall 2013, just as a test program. I created Scandal Spin, which was an after show for the primetime show Scandal. And one of the sponsors for that particular show was another client of mine that was just launching their website, newcarads.com, and they wanted more consumer exposure. So they sponsored the production of Scandal Spin, knowing that it would be primetime TV viewers who were watching Scandal that would be getting exposure to their brand through my audience, because they couldn't afford to advertise on the TV show Scandal, but they wanted to talk to the exact same people. And so that's one of the ways that they can do that. Are you still there, Michael?
I am.
Oh, awesome. Okay, I just saw your picture go away for a minute. Yep. So does that make sense? Like it
makes complete sense.
Sponsoring a hangout on air, if you're a business owner and you're thinking that maybe sponsoring a hangout on air is a way to start, it truly can be based on where the audience comes from for the particular hangout that you're looking at sponsoring. It can be an alternative to the medium. And so one of the things I love to use hangouts like a companion content. So if you publish a book, you could do a hangout that is a workshop companion to your book. And so the hangout helps promote the book, or the hangout is for the exact same audience as your book. And in the case of Scandal, New Car Ads would not have been in a position to afford primetime network television advertising, but they could get the exact same audience who was watching the show live on Twitter coming onto my show and get exposure to them for a much lower cost sponsoring my show than it would be to sponsor the network television show.
So if someone wants to engage you to help them with Hangouts on air, what programs do you offer?
I love that question. Of course. The programs that I offer, well, it's really exciting because I'm working on writing the content of the book for Celebrity Hangouts on Air. It's a working title, but the program and the website is there, and I do have the 6-week training. The 6-week training program that we recorded using live Hangouts on Air in November and December of 2013. So we have the content there in the community. The first level that you can access my training and the Celebrity Hangouts on Air program, which is completely unique training to anything I've ever seen on any other type of Hangout program. Most other Hangout training programs really focus on which buttons to press, where, and when. And if you need that kind of training, then it certainly is available out there to you, but it's not really what Celebrity Hangouts on Air focuses on. So within the community, we've got that. I'm offering as a charter offer, and this is. It's a little bit of a crazy offer. I sort of wonder about it. But what we'll be setting up is we're going to offer charter memberships to the Celebrity Hangouts on Air community for a ridiculously low cost of $6 a month. And I'll be putting up the landing page where you can join, access all of the 6 weeks of live training immediately. Any and all of my personal systems and templates for planning your Hangouts on Air and bringing the celebrity guests in, making sure that all of your other audience guests know what they have to do to be prepared so that they don't sabotage your Hangout on Air, especially if can you imagine having a guest sabotage your Hangout on Air with a celebrity and then you can't get the celebrity back on because you had a guest who wasn't properly prepared? So all of that training is in the community. You also have access to a private Facebook mastermind group as well as a public Google Plus community where when you join Celebrity Hangouts on Air, you become a moderator of the Google Plus community so that you can actually be there and speak as a voice of authority, speak as someone who's trained in Celebrity Hangouts on Air and help other businesses if that's something that you want to do. So I have all of that training that I'm working to build and create that content, and right now it's there, but it will be getting even better. So you want to stay in for a couple of months at least, but really participate in the community, and that's that sort of access. It's the greatest sort of hands-off. You get a little bit of access to me in live trainings and live Hangouts on Air and Q&A sessions. But for the most part, you just have access to all the Celebrity Hangouts on Air and the community, and you're good to go. And the other option is if you want to join a community of sort of like a group of peers of other small business owners who are learning how to produce their own Hangout on Air shows for themselves within a group coaching setting. I do have an opportunity where you can join. I'm just starting my group coaching program. I've never done group coaching before. I've never called myself a coach before. But I've had some people tell me that they really wanted access to Celebrity Hangouts on Air, but they wanted more of my time and for a lower cost, and they wanted more brainstorming. So within the group coaching, you can access all of that. It's you get access to me, one call a week in a group coaching setting, but you also have access to me in the communities 24/7, 365. So it's sort of another level of access to that coaching. I'm also going to throw in a free, not free, but included a private session. So if you join the group coaching, your access to me is within the group setting. And when I have answers and we brainstorm solutions together for individual challenges that people within the group are experiencing, you get to observe me helping them. They get to observe me helping you. You all get to contribute to my book. and it's a big, lovely kumbaya at a really affordable rate at the moment of $500 a month. And as I explained, that would also include every single month you will get a private session with me so that I can make sure that you are on track and that you're getting full value out of the community and that it's working for you. And everything that I offer is you can cancel at any time. You pay up front at the beginning of the month, and then, you know, as many months as you need me for, I'm going to be there for you. So the next level really of consulting, of working with you, is if you really just need me for a few hours a month, if you just need me like 1 hour a week, I can start working with your organization privately, you as an individual, your organization, your whole team. I can consult and direct you what to do and be hands-off, or for the time you can have me hands-on. And I start at 4 hours a month for private consulting for $1,000 a month. Or if you wanted to sign up for a 6-month consulting package or private coaching, it would be $4,200 upfront. And that's how organizations can work with me. Of course, if you're not a small business and you're watching this webinar and you're still getting value out of it, I do work with larger organizations and consult with the larger organizations that I have that experience from in my career for as much time as you need.
Well, Debbie, that's great. I want to thank you for your time today. I think this has been very informative. And I'll be interviewing you again next week.
Right.
But in this case, we're going to invite people to ask questions. Mm-hmm. So if you've got a question that you would like to ask Debbie, you can email it to me at mp at M as in Michael, K, T as in Tom, R, N as in Nancy.com. So that's mp at mktrn.com. And next week, Wednesday at noon Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time, we will be on again with Debbie and we'll answer your questions.
Right. So next week we're going to talk specifically about small business and Hangouts for small business again. So if you have any questions, I'm thrilled to hear them. It really helps me to understand what you're working on. If you just want to come talk about the Hangout that you're working on, that you're struggling with, or you already have a celebrity booked and you have some concerns, or you need some help, next week is your chance to get me for free.
Great. Well, we will see you hopefully next week on the Hangout. So with that, we'll say goodbye.
Thanks, everybody.